Hello and welcome along and welcome back to Haut-Beyleron. We are headed down to the shop this morning in our Vultra because we're actually going to do a contract. We're into spring, we've jumped ahead another day, and yeah, there weren't really any contracts available on the last day of February that were of any interest. Lots of cultivating, lots of ploughing, and all of them weren't worth very much money at all. However, coming up today for us has been a couple of really interesting contracts. But it all depends on how long they take to do, really. So, we're down here because we're going to pick one of these up. And the first of these, actually, you can see why we need a bit more money. We need to fertilize our fields. But the first of these we want to pick up is this. We're going to do some seeding. Now, we've got 2 potato seeding contracts. What I want to do is I really want to do field 28. It's nearly 15,000, really useful to us. But it's going to be fairly big with a potato seeding contract. So what we're going to do is actually start with field 14. We'll see how long this takes us and go from there. We've also got a couple more interesting seeding contracts. Field 22 with sunflowers for 10,000 and field 33 with sugar beet for 10,000. Now we should actually be able to use both seeders. One of those seeders should be interchangeable. In fact, that one would be a really good one to pick up, actually, with the sunflowers for that. So we are going to get, you know what? I was absolutely prepared and ready to go and do that potato contract. But I'm looking at that now, and the amount of seeds and everything that's going to cost us makes far more sense to take this contract, and this contract, and use the equipment from this one, because the amount of money we're going to make is actually hugely more, and it's going to take us less time. So let's do that instead. We still need our forklift down here to fill up with seeds, but we're going to borrow items for field 41 because it'll only cost us 492 to do that. So borrow that. And then we want to also pick up this one here and this one here. Which, yeah, that's actually a much better setup. We're going to be in a Vultra very similar to our own, but that should be fine. And in fact, just makes things very simple and easy for us. You can see the slightly different color we have on our Vultra, actually, because we have a slightly lighter blue paint job on ours compared to this one. This one also has a lot more hours on it than mine does. So what we'll do is we'll hook this up first, and then we're going to buy some bags of seeds. Now, there's nothing on here. It does say, yeah, it does say liters. How many liters does this take? Oh, yeah, nothing in the shop today on sale for us. So that hasn't worked out very well. This should be under planters. There it is. And this takes 2,660 liters. If we look in here and our big bags, seeds. So we want 3 of these, which is going to be 1,600. Oh, extra 1,600 for 2,400. So buy that. But that should be enough seeds for the entire job, I'm hoping. And this is why we've got our tractor down here, because we can come in here with this, pick these seed bags up, and hopefully get this seeder loaded up as quickly as possible. So in and through. Will it get all of them? Yes. And this is why we have the weight on the back, because that is heavy. Will that load it? Not from there, it won't. Let's see if we can swing this around. This may be a case of we have to transport these down to the field, but that is also fine. I should be able to do that. Whoa! There we go. That's 2 of them emptying. Yeah, empties into those rear packs by the looks of things. Or it needs to empty... Not quite sure where it's emptying. Oh, maybe it only takes a smaller amount than I was thinking it does. In which case, we're going to have to get our truck down here. Yeah, it only takes 600 litres of seed. So we got way, way more seed than we need here. Let's switch that over to sunflowers. And the first field we want to go and do, yeah, is that one, which is field 22, which is down the bottom of the map for us. So, well, actually, no, up the top of the map. It's just behind where we are. So we'll head up there. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to load those bags of seed onto my truck and get that back up to the farm, or get them next to the field, and hopefully if we run out of seed we'll be able to reload this. Does worry me slightly, have I overbought on seed by quite a way? Not a great start really. There was a question I had for you guys after my last video, because somebody left a comment that made me think a little bit. Now, the lime, the stone crusher to lime that we've got is, well, it does a fair amount and it makes money at the same time. And they pointed out there was something that I was considering using on No Man's Land, which of course I still am. And why was I using it here? So my question very much to you is, do you think it's something I should use here? Do you think I should maybe use something that has a lower conversion rate? Because there's another lime crusher out there that does, that we could use. Or do you think I should just sell the stones instead? And that we don't need a piece of equipment like that on here? Personally, I kind of think that we need all the help we can get on a start from scratch. Whether I'm using that on another job or not. Let's lift it up, fold it in, there we go, and start it up. It is sunflowers we want in 22, yes it is. We don't have GPS on this tractor. It is an old enough tractor not to, and plus I still think I haven't turned GPS on this series. And away we go. It is a nice wide seeder, I tell you what, if we could get this for our tractor, because this is the same horsepower as our tractor, it would be brilliant. But yes, getting back to my earlier point, what are your thoughts? Do you think I should switch out our line production piece of kit for something else, or just sell the stones directly? Or do you think that it's a perfectly reasonable item to have on here for a start from scratch? It seems that the steering is affected by the piles of stones, so it's not just damage that they do, but if you're not using something like GPS, they can throw you off course. Every time I jump over or hit a bunch of stones, I'm having to adjust my steering just to keep myself on that straight line, make sure that we're running at completely just sort of straight across the field, which is quite amazing, especially with the amount of stones on here. But then we did plough this field, so I'm not surprised that there are quite as many stones as there are. I am slightly surprised that the farmer didn't collect them up before he got us to do this contract, because we are going to be doing a lot of damage to this drill. It is working really well otherwise, though. We are 50% of the way through the seeds in here, so my original thought that we were going to need more seeds is very, very much correct. And yeah, oh, that is too much of an overlap. Yeah, we are going to have to refill. I'm going to have to run my truck down to the shop and get that picked up. In fact, what I'm going to do quickly is if we head here and select the truck, this may not work. Set destination. And there. Yeah, it's unreachable. And that is because this is currently sitting right next to here and can't. They don't like to reverse and then head off. They like to just head off. So let's try this again. Set destination here and here. Yep, and that is away. So we'll be able to load that up in a bit, and it'll only cost a minimal amount of money for us to get that down to our shop, or down to the shop. I want to just get it down there and have a minimum amount of time that we have downtime for, so we can send both pieces of kit up to here once those are loaded up. And we get them up to this field, and hopefully by the time they get up to this field, we should have this job done. Although, actually, what I mean by this job done is we'll have run out of sunflowers. We won't be anywhere near having this job done by the end of, by the time that they get down there and get up to here. Yeah, with any luck, what it'll be is they'll get up to this field just in time to refill us. And allow us to continue on without any further interruptions, really. Our truck has made it down to the shop, so what I'm going to do now is just set a hired worker going on here, because this, at the moment, is one of those jobs that feels like it's going to take a while, and I don't want to get any interruptions. So we'll head down here. And we've got our lizard pickup. And what I'm going to do is just lower those bags into the back of this. There we go. Right. And we'll do the two together first. One thing actually with these bags is it doesn't tell me how much is left in them. When they're on the front of here. I have to come from the other side because that's not working. I think it's a fair amount still. I'll move them a little bit closer together. Actually, slide them back. There we go. We might get away with just taking these two up there, to be honest. In fact, yeah, we're going to have to get away with taking these two up there because that third bag is currently not going to fit in here. Whoa. Caught that. Gonna right yourself, you're gonna right yourself. Perfect. Right, we'll send this up to the field first. So into here, you set destination, pick a target up to that, and this lock. There we go. And same for this. I want that to go up there as well. Perfect. Although both of those seem to be locking on to actually doing field work. Stop this. Reverse it up and restart it. And away we go again. Back on track. And we're down to the last 10 litres. So 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Turn it off, and we'll head towards the side of the field so that we can get this reloaded. And I can see our tractor and our truck following each other, heading up to the field now. The truck is very much stuck behind the tractor. And in fact, has had enough. It's headed up the field. Across the grass, whereas the tractor is still coming along the road. Our truck has got here. And, yeah. So what we'll do is I'm actually going to swing this round. So we've got easier access to these. Yeah, and you're blocked, but that's all right because I want to go straight in with you and pick up these. This is why I love the new AI worker. It just makes it so easy to get supplies up to the fields. You know, there's no having to back this off. There's no having to go and spend a lot of time away from your fields getting stuff and manually drive it up. You just send your hired worker up to your field. It costs less money to do it than getting the hired worker to do the whole field. And now we can just sit this here, and when we need to refill again, we can just refill again. Which, yeah, works absolutely perfectly for us. We will get it a little bit out of the way, though. And just lower these down so that we're not straining the hydraulics on our tractor while we get the rest of this seeding again. I do think this Valtra is one of the best starter tractors that you can get in the game. It is powerful, it looks good, all round it's nice. I haven't had much chance to use the 7810 yet, the John Deere, but I am going to need to do that at some point. But this certainly, we've got the one we've got on the farm and the setup we have here, it just works really, really well for. And similarly on this contract, this is not a small seeder. You know, this is a seeder that requires a decent amount of horsepower, and this Valtra is handling it absolutely fine, and doing it at a reasonable pace and really nicely too. So yeah, I absolutely love this. It's a cracking tractor. I actually got the guide out now to see if we can be a little bit more realistic with how we use this. I just want to see, well, it'll give us a greater idea of how straight we are. We can see we're actually quite a way off course at this point. And I don't know if I did a correction on the last run or not, but the 0 is there, which is, yeah, a little bit weird. So we'll see how we go. I think we've got a bit of a squiggly line going the other way back now. It won't matter in the overall bit of the contract, but the whole OCD of it is I'd like a nice straight line going down there. So yeah, it's annoying that I've got that, but we'll see how it goes. Now this is a little bit weird because where this line is, if I put my wheel in it, there's an overlap, and it's not a small overlap either. You know, to actually line myself up, I don't like this guide. It seems to be that I want to have my wheel outside of the line in order to be in the right place. That I need to be driving beside it instead of driving in it. Which just seems so very, very wrong to me. I would expect to have to you know, have my wheel in that line. So another couple of runs and I've now got a fairly straight line. I am running with my wheel in the marker, and we're getting a fairly straight setup. It's not that much of an overlap. In fact, it's pretty much right on the edge of where we've seeded before. So, yeah, it looks about right for where we should be. And it's actually working a lot better than I initially thought it was. It's quite good. It is definitely making the job easier. Rather than having to look at the compass all the time, I just stick my wheel in that groove and follow it, which yeah, just makes things that much easier. Have we got it down on the other side? We have. So down, and then yeah, just follow that groove and keep the wheel in it, and it works just as well as any GPS. Although up here you can see where we haven't quite kept our wheel inside it the whole way along, and ended up with not quite such a straight run. There we go. That is the contract finished on the field though. So let's fold all this up. We'll go and refill this with seed. And I think the other two fields, yeah, they're right down the other side of the map. So we're going to have to unfold this and hook it up. But I'm going to reload it with seed first. That way we can get up there. We can get that field started. And we don't have to worry about transporting seed about too much. So let's do that there. In fact, I'm going to lower that down. Oh no, lift it up, unfold it, lower it down, refill it, and then we will unhitch it and redo it. So these up. Reload with our volmets. Like so. Oh, and yeah, we're going to have to send these back down to the shop actually to go and get that other bag, because this is not going to be enough to do that second field. So get this in the back of my truck. We'll send the truck down to the shop. We'll load up that third bag and then we'll head back here to get our other tractor. So we'll send this down to the shop. So set destination there, please. Perfect. So that is off. We want to lock that down. This. And do the same with this. So set my destination. Oh, too low. There we go. There we go. That one should head off. Yep. And then we can get this down to the other field. We're headed down to field 33. And why has our car stopped? Oh, there's a 2CV in the way. Right, let's move this. We'll head down to the shop quickly and load this up, and that will make things easier on us. Our tractor has already made it down there, so I can go and load this up with the rest of the seed and then send that down to field 33. I'm hoping that there is enough seed left between this bag and the other one. How much is in this bag? 55 litres. So we got 1,055 litres plus the 660 we've got in our seeder at the moment. So that is going to be enough to get this done, thankfully. Having sorted out our seeds, we have got ourselves down to field 33. I'm just going to pull this in here. I'm actually probably going to want to go at the far end, I think, but easiest way for me to hook up is this end. We should bounce around less on this field. It's only got small stones on it, which is good news. But this government planter should be fairly easy and quick to hook up. There we go. And the PTO as well. Fold it up. And we're gonna get started before either our tractor or our truck turn up, which is great news. And we are hitting this on a lot of bushes. Bring this round the field and double check that this wants sunflowers as well. So contract on field 33 is sugar beet. So switch over to that. Back it up a little bit. And because this actually isn't ploughed either, this should be a lot less rough, this journey on this field. Start her up, drop her down. And away we go. And yeah, that is a much, much smoother setup. Drop down to medium gear range. And we're even better. Working these two fields is like chalk and cheese. It is so much smoother, so much easier to run this field. I'm hardly having to watch the compass or adjust it at all. It tends to stay where you put it, which is absolutely brilliant. It's just making this whole job that much easier for me. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. It is moving at quite a rate. It's moving at the same speed actually it was on the other field. But on here, it's not bouncing around. It's not doing all that movement it was doing on the other field. And yeah, actually is a much smoother, much easier job to work with. This field, of course, is a field that we did ourselves. We did the contract on here with the 8RX doing the contracting for the cultivating. And yeah, it's as a result, we've got the small stones and the smoother ground that we're working with. All in all, I think this has worked out better for us today. We have... we're going to have a lower seed price than it would have been for doing the potatoes. We are going to make about 20 grand off these two fields, which is brilliant. I will set I'll set a worker basically doing the last one, because even if a worker is sat there doing the last one, using up the rest of our seeds, it will still not cost as much to get the worker to do that job as we'll make off it. So we'll still be in a bit of profit from that. But the two we really wanted to profit from was this field and the other one that we've done today. So it's worked out really well. We have made so much money from contracts over the winter and into spring. It's definitely the way to go on Start From Scratch. You're always going to start off with a small amount of stuff, and you're always going to need to get that extra income, and you have the time. Even running on 10 times on 3-day month like we are here, we have a huge amount of extra time. And I realize in saying that we've run out of seeds a little while ago by the looks of things, but that's all right because we came prepared. Just come to the end of the field here. We will unclip this bag of seeds like so, and go and grab our vault truck, which is parked over here. Yeah, and this is why getting the hired worker for a little bit of money to run these down to the field makes so much sense, because everything there is just there when you need it. As a result, you get this on the right hand fork, I think. Like that. Yep, there we go. And probably want to lower the seeder down actually, because at the moment a little bit high for me. I'll lower that down. That should then allow me to get close enough with this to empty the seed out. Only 55 litres in that first one. I should take about half the bag in the second one, and then there should be enough left in here just to finish this field off at the end and give us a little bit of extra seed. Right. So, oh, nope. perception kicking in again. There we go. Grab that. Twist it round. Slowly. Don't want it swinging too much. And then what we'll do is we will leave the seed bag on the front of this. Just off to the side of the field here. That way we can fill it up and get it done very easily once it runs out again, and it will run out again. Sun is setting now, and we're halfway through this contract. It was a fairly big ask, to be honest, to get both of these done in the same day. But you can see the light shifting and changing as the sun gets lower on the horizon. 6:10 in the evening in spring. So the days are getting longer, but they are not that long yet. It is getting a bit harder to see exactly where we should be on the field. And I think we might have to employ what we were starting to employ at the top end of the field and use the ridge marker. It'll be much, much more visible to us than the actual rest of this. So if we use the ridge marker on this and try and keep this run as straight as we can, then when it comes to doing the rest of the field, it'll make our job so very much easier to be able to see that run, stick the wheel in it, and just keep a nice straight line going across the rest of the field. And you can see the difference this makes now. We just stick the wheel in this and just follow it across, and hopefully keep a nice straight line doing it. As the darkness sort of encroaches in, and it becomes harder and harder to see exactly where we should be going. Night is properly set in now, and yeah, it's 7 in the evening. We've got one last refill to get. So we'll bring this here and lower it down. Done. Starter up. Let's put some lights on this as well. I think the rest of this might, yeah, the rest of this should go in here now. Like that. There we are. Back it off. Turn all the lights off. And we'll go and finish this field off. Wow. And the sun has properly gone below the horizon. We're up to 98% complete now. And just finishing up. Hopefully this will be our last row that we need to do. The lights are all on in Haut-Beyleron. And yeah, the lights are all on our tractor as well. And we just need to do these last couple of strips here to get that arm out. And away we go. And there we go. That's got it done. Perfect. Fold everything up, turn it off, and we'll head back to our other tractor. So into my high range gear and over here, and then we can go and pack all this up and get it back to our farm. We still have one contract to complete with this tractor, so I'd still quite like to do that. So let's just drop this down. Oh no, let's fold this out. Then we can drop this down. Yeah, like so. And our flashlight on. Like that. Forwards. And we are all done and dusted. We just need to collect our 20,000 euros for these jobs, which is just fantastic. What a day's work that is. Right, so that is all ready to go. We've completed that. Let's head into here. We will collect that one and collect that one. So we just have that one to do. Field 41, sowing sunflowers. So I'll get these all back to our farm. Field 41 is actually fairly near to here, I think. Where are we? 41 is there, in fact. So we'll send everything up to that yard there. And that should do us. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.